All right, how are y'all? Brrr. All right. How are we doing? My name is Ed Shua. Here's my video report, my response video. Question one, where I'm from. I'm from Dalton, Georgia. The demographics, 33,000. Total population, 33,000. Of that 33,000, 42.4% non-Hispanic white, 22.6% Hispanic, 6.4% black, 0.6% Native American, 2.4% Asian, 0.1% Pacific Islander, 0.1% other, 22.2% Hispanic reporting. All right. The demographic, social, and economic details within the mix. The socioeconomic poverty rate. The poverty rate across the entire state of Georgia is 16.9%, but in Dalton, it exceeds that by almost 10%, coming in at 24% poverty rate, which means 4.2 residents live in poverty. And blacks at the highest of 44.9%, so basically 45% of blacks in Dalton, Georgia are living in poverty. For whites, it is 15%, Hispanics, 26.8%, and other races, 23.7% fall in that poverty line. Number two, the impact of COVID-19 in my hometown. It has been reported that we have 17,117 cases, deaths, 249 reported. And the biggest peak happened in the month of January, which makes sense since it is the middle of flu season. Right. Number three, how or what has the response been from the government? With lockdowns, vaccine rollouts, and everything like that. So when the pandemic was declared, masks weren't mandated until June 2020. Most stores and restaurants around town. So up until that point, masks weren't mandated. But for schools were obviously closed. And once the pandemic was declared on March 11th, 2020, and switched to virtual, and the issue was ordered by Governor Kent. We were the first state, Georgia was the first state to reopen its economy, get people back into work. And we're one of the first states of this year to uplift our mask mandates and regulations. And you had your school closures, vaccines rollout. You can go to your local pharmacy, Kroger, Walgreens, local hospitals to get your COVID vaccines if you want it. Georgia has given the opportunity for people to do that. Do I agree with the responses described above? I do not agree. I don't agree with most of these regulations, vaccines, on a whole lot of levels, but I'll keep it short. This is the fastest vaccine ever created in history, ever pushed in history. The response, it's not FDA approved. It was emergency approved due to the CDC giving it or allowing it to be approved under these circumstances. And the numbers, to me, do not support the reason for people to go out and get vaccinated. If you are a healthy human being, there is no reason to get vaccinated. The people who end up dying, quote unquote, dying from COVID, end up being either elderly people or obese people who are not healthy, who usually die within the population anyways. 2.8 million Americans die every year from obesity. Elderly people are elderly people. And not just all elderly people are the same. Elderly people with, I guess what they would say pre-existing conditions. If you are not healthy, you can be subject to dying just like you could be subject to dying from the flu, dying from cancer, a car wreck. It is mainly the same, but this push for healthy individuals to go get vaccinated, I do not agree with at all. At all. And I'm not planning to get it at all. Those are my thoughts. And I can go more in depth on that, but I was going to keep it at that level. Number 5, what impacts do you think local policies have on your community to date? So the impacts, what I said, this whole pandemic has created a lot of fear in people. Going off on more what I believe what this is. It's more fear-based than anything. It's to control. I see it as more as a control factor. Get people scared into giving up, looking at the government, giving up their freedoms, looking at the government to give them the next step, relying too much on Big Brother to tell them what to do, what to inject their bodies with, not to understand what healthy foods, a good immune system, and exercise can do for you. That is what you need to be healthy. But they do not teach that. They teach you to go get vaccinated and pump yourself up with pills. My opinion. That's how I feel about the situation. And it has people scared to, it literally had people scared to sneeze, scared of human interaction altogether. But now, number 6, any recent changes to federal policies, federal mask mandates, businesses reopening, I think it's a beautiful thing now. It's a beautiful thing. We have people living like it's 2019 again, happy, smiling, seeing people's faces, people going back to work, people not being unemployed, relying on, stimulus checks and stuff like that to move on, to get the bills paid. People are interacting, human interaction is happening again, as it always should have been. It's just it's a good thing. It's a good thing to see. It's a beautiful thing to see. And that's all I have to say. And that is it. Thank you for your time, and I'm out.